Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Conversations in Ken's Cafe. We have Simply Jan homesteading with us
Hey
today.
everyone, how are you?
Well, we're doing fantastic over here. We got a whole bunch of your people reaching out going, Jan.
Jen, Linda. You got to say it that way to Linda. Hey,
Oh,
where does
Linda,
your
Linda.
family from?
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. That's
Oh,
where it's from. And
that
where does?
ain't nowhere close to Alberta, young lady.
Well, no, he's from Newfoundland, but they live in
Okay.
Alberta. So Ken and I were having this conversation about Alberta.
Yep.
And my sister-in-law lives there. Sorry, guys. There's Scott.
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna say hi to everybody here that's in the chat right now. I'm just gonna bring everybody up. There's a lot of people on both of our channels right now, a lot from
Yes.
Jane. So Jane, if you want to give a shout out while I'm going through, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to say hi to Heather and Troy and Jennifer and Jerry and Rainy Ridge, Tina and Eric, Rick at Twin Brooks, Neil and Beth at Treasure Hunter Neil, Angie, Debbie Drock. Who else do we have? Teresa Jukowitz, Gail at Broken Hearts Ministries, Scott at Ramblin' with the Brooms. He's right after us, y'all. And then Rebecca Touched by Yarn, Garden State So-and-so is Robin. We have Barb with Jesus is Lord. Oh, you sure you want to do this? Life, road trips, life and redux. Hello, sweetheart. There's Beth at BNS Odyssey and Sean at Let's Trade Paint. Okay, it's yours.
Okay, I gotta ask. Okay, trading paint. Okay, you guys just went out on a limb here. What?
Sean would have to call you and explain that. He doesn't trade paint, but he can paint.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, Jan, why don't you tell my audience, because a lot of the guys, like we've got Finland in the house from Casper. I have a pretty multinational audience from all over the globe. So tell people who is Jan and why do I have Jan on here talking about her homestead?
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Hello, everyone on Ken's chat. I can't see you, but so I think he'll be putting up the chat. But happy to get to know you. So who is Simply Jan? She's a little neurotic. She's a little crazy neurotic. She's fun. I love life. I live it to the fullest. We have what I would call a hobby farm. We have sheep and donkey and goat. Oh, no, we don't have goats. No, scratch goats. No, no.
Okay.
We have sheep. We have we have ducks and chickens and a donkey and two dogs. And here's one of them because he is the YouTube hound. And anyway,
And he's beautiful.
He is beautiful. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. I honestly, it was a 10-year journey for me to start really getting into homesteading. We had a half acre in Texas, and I started watching a couple channels about homesteading and chickens. And next thing you know, I have 4 chickens on our half acre. My daughter and son-in-law and grandson and my husband and I built a little pallet garden, emphasis on little. And we started growing our own food. And then, well, what am I going to do with all that food? Because, sometimes you get way too much and you have to preserve it. So that took me down the next rabbit hole. I had to preserve my food. How do I do that? Okay, I can. So anything I could water bath can, got water bath can. Anything I could dehydrate, got dehydrated. And thus began my journey to insanity.
You're
So
still going. Yes,
I'm
yeah.
still doing it. Yes. Now we have a 20 by 40 garden or 30 by 40 garden up front. We have 2 raised beds on the side of the house and an in-ground bed that we like to grow our uh, potatoes in, and sometimes
Mhm.
watermelon and cantaloupe. Hello, Mickey, Critter Creek. So anyway, y'all, I want you to put it's all about biology's link up for me, so all of you can go check Ken out, because my gosh, the knowledge this man has is
Thank you.
phenomenal. I mean, I can't hold that all in my brain. I told Ken, I remember I'm a novice. I'm learning as I go. And boy, have I learned so much this year, probably because I paid attention. Hello, Helvita.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's part of it, you actually have to spend a little bit of time and learn, and that's what you've been doing for years now, and compiling information, experimenting and learning and growing, and that's what it's really all about. That's the human condition, is to, suck up the knowledge.
Oh, it is. It is. And I'm like, how do you know all the terms and all the things that make that synergistic value work together? How does that happen? And so I started. I actually listened, and I even took some notes. And I'm a messy note writer, so you would never, if you try to decipher my notes, forget it.
Yeah,
It's
same with
never gonna
me.
happen.
Yep.
Yeah, but I can read it and I can go back and glean off of the knowledge that so many are willing to share. I
Yeah.
just want to give a shout out to what is it? Silly Lily. This is
Silly Lily.
Ken's wife. This is
Yep.
Ken's wife. Show her some love. So, hey, there's 9 acres. There you are, and Jovita's here. So, anyway, that's really, it's been an evolution of knowledge and what's going to work best here. Dale and I at 9 Acres Family Farm last year, I told Kevin gave our garden a D. I wasn't so gracious. We got an F all the way to the ground. It was so disastrous. Every time
Mhm.
I had a ripening tomato, I didn't know it at the time, but I had a rabbit eating them. So the harvest was hard last year.
Mhm.
We had green tomatoes. We were picking them, putting them on the counter. And Dale and Lisa at 9 Acres Family Farm had the same exact thing. And they're about an hour and a half away from us.
Mhm.
So it was such a struggle to garden last year. It was awful, torturous. I even might have said at one point, I'm never planting another seed, but I can't do that.
It just doesn't happen. Yeah.
But that's how I felt. I was like, oh my God, if this is our future, I'm done. I'm done. I was so disappointed. Nothing grew. We
Mhm.
had bugs infesting, I mean, eating every leaf on every plant we had. It was devastating for us. But you know
Mhm.
what? That's where you just say, nope, I'm going to win this battle. I'm gonna dig in. I'm gonna find some information out, and this is my garden. My garden.
Mhm. So what'd you do?
Well, I found out the properties this year of alfalfa. So all my starts after I
Mhm.
transplanted the starts got 2 to 3 alfalfa pellets in the soil. Anything with high nitrogen, alfalfa's high nitrogen. See, I
Yeah.
know that kid. I know that term. So
Mhm.
tomatoes, the peppers got it. Boy, I put it in our potatoes. I garlic. I didn't have to do squat to the garlic. It's sort of self-explanatory, and
Mhm.
it does its own thing. in it seems like the worst of the worst garlic will grow. But alfalfa and my bone meal, and I learned you can't use not bone meal. What's the other one?
Blood
It's
meal?
blood meal. You can't use that on green beans. I never knew that.
Mhm.
That might be why I had a terrible harvest last year.
Well,
This
I'm going to
year,
call that a gold bar because I didn't actually realize you couldn't use the blood meal on green beans either. There's
I
a new
didn't
one.
either. I found that out. I did my homework. You don't want to use it on green beans. And this year has been amazing. It's like over the top. You know, I did I think I posted the video about, I don't know, I might not have, I might still have it in the queue there, but, um, you know, going out to the garden every day is a huge mistake for me. Every other day, every third day is when I go out to the garden because I
Okay.
know I've got a huge harvest. And yesterday was a basket full of everything. And I was like, wow, it's been so long
Yeah.
since I've been able to do that. Hi, Barb. Barb's at Ben's Over Acres. Y'all check out Ken. It's all about the biology, man. So what I really love about your channel is how you take uh there's a term I was looking for. See, Ken, I told you. There's a
Just let
term.
it flow. Have
There
another drink of wine. Have another drink of wine.
Yeah.
Calm down.
No, I get razz for that. I go slow. But how you take the biology and how, if you think about it, biology works into every single aspect of our life.
In every
And
cell that's out there.
yeah, and I love that. I love that aspect of it. I love
Mhm.
how you can look at, well, if I took this and say I fertilized with Epsom salt here, and then I
Right.
took Epsom salt over here, but that plant totally died. Well, why? Well, because there's a biology that goes with it. And I always like to say it's a synergistic
Yep.
thing that happens. And to me, it is. Everything's synergistic. It all works together. It all comes together.
Yep.
And you can take that little tiny mustard seed, put it in the ground, and see this huge, huge, beautiful plant produce food for you and your family.
Yeah.
And I love that. There's Sammy. Hi, Sammy. Yeah, I do enjoy that. And you're way more intelligent than I am. So
Oh no, 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 no. I am no better than anyone. I just got injured 15 years ago and I've been sitting here learning ever since. And I've just been drawing it in. And face it, I've listened to many voices. Like I tell people, listen to many voices, find the ones that resonate with you. And that's one of the reasons you're here, Jan, is there's things that you understand, things that you've experienced in your life that have shown you different things than the life I've lived. And it's in that sharing of that information, of the trials and tribulations, that help people to grow and understand. And that's why I love bringing people on to talk about their lives.
I love that. I love that. And I love sharing my life. I love sharing. I I don't like to say I had failures. I'd like to say I had learning lessons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing's a failure unless you give up, you know. If you give up, then you failed. If you
Yeah.
throw the flag down on the ground and you walk away, all right, you just gave it up.
Yeah.
But if you just keep striving to find what's going to work. I mean, when you do your plant starts, y'all don't get all caught up in, oh, I got to do it this way and I got to do that and I can't do that and I shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
do this. When you plant your plants, I mean, if you've seen my garden, it's a total taken over by weeds. Total.
Yep.
But and I drive my husband nuts because I plant closer than most people do. I would say that's crowd planting. But on the flip side, I don't have any bugs attacking like my tomato plants. I had one hornworm that was humongous that I picked off. In the past, I've had 53 hornworms on my raised beds in my
Yeah.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
And so I quit. Oh, and then we processed these ginormous cucumbers that were hidden under a trellis yesterday. I had no idea they were there. It's like, oops.
Surprise.
So the chickens are going to get they're a little yellow, so they're going to get those.
Yeah.
There's Linda in another time. Hello. Gillum Farms.
So we didn't cover you got hurt by the rabbits. Rabbits were eating everything. How'd you get rid of the rabbits?
We put a fence around the garden this year.
Okay.
Yes. And it was funny because we're cheap, right? We're homesteaders. So what could I get for the most bang for my buck? Hi, Tiffany. Is we got chicken wire and T-posts. We had a bunch, but we had to get a couple more. And we just ran it around. And we were so worried it wasn't going to work. But you know what? We made it work. And it's fantastic. And we haven't had one thing get in that garden. Of course, Brutus says stuff.
Do you remember the movie that he was trying to figure out how to keep the rabbits out, and he built this beautiful fence, and he kept the rabbit in with the fence?
Yeah.
Figured it out. Had open door phenomenon, I think it was called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was worried about because rabbits burrow, right?
Yep.
And I was like, oh God, I don't know if this is going to work. I mean, we don't have anything going in the ground. It's just at the ground level. And we were just so hoping that it would work. And so far, so good. It's been amazing. But next year, the whole garden gets revamped and we're doing ground cover. We're going to till the spots that are still bare ground. And then we're putting the ground cover down and going to all raised beds. Because,
Cool.
you know, I'm aging in place. You know, I'm 67. And the last really thing I want to do is sit down and pick weeds for 4 hours. I don't want to do that. I'm done. So that's what we're going to do. And, you know, oh no, Johnny thinks he has food poisoning. Yeek. Armidas, hello. So good to see you.
Amadeus.
Yeah, you know, you were asking me backstage, you know, I was telling you to be gentle on me because I don't know much. But you were asking me about how did we get from Missouri to Texas? Texas, yeah, wherever I live.
Okay, somebody's got a question for you, Jane.
What?
Jan, I should say. I keep calling you Jane for some
It's
reason.
okay. I answer to everything. Okay, I got to get close. You need manure. The dump truck loads. I got work one. Oh, I have. Trust me, Jennifer. I have plenty poop. Yeah. We have a bad to the bone compost pile. And so, yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to how you got to Missouri from Texas. It's
okay,
a short drive, you know.
Okay, yeah, I'm on the short bus. Okay, so we had a half acre in Texas. We both worked full time, lots and lots and lots of hours. And one day, I think I just got sick of being sick and sick of the rat race. So my brother had cancer. He passed from cancer, but in between we were driving. My lifelong friends I taught youth group with in Texas had moved to Arkansas, but they had just not long before that moved to Missouri. So we came and stayed there, and then on our way to Illinois, or on our way back, and I just fell head over heels in love with Missouri. The red buds were blooming. It was just gorgeous, and it was like it was a soul thing. It wasn't. I just want to move. You know, it was like
Yeah.
it ripped my soul apart not to be able to snap my fingers and be right here. And so I started looking for houses, and we weren't even near ready. And what?
Hey, Jane has a lot of poop. She's just full of it. It's 9-acre family farm, so you'll have to have a
All
talk
right,
about that.
Dale. I know where you live, man. He's in Missouri too. Yeah. Well,
Cool, cool.
or Kansas or some one of those other places. Yeah. But anyway, so I started looking for a house, and I'm like, Lord, I could look for years and years, but unless you put this dream in my husband's heart, it is
Yeah.
never going to happen. Yeah, he's in Kansas. No, we won't shame him for that, Neil. Uh, but that's how it went. And so for almost 2 years, I kept looking for houses and looking, and so one day Kevin walks in and he said, "Put the house up for sale. We're gonna move." And about crap my pants,
Are you serious, honey? What? What did you just say?
Oh no,
Put that
I had
right in?
phone. I already knew the realtor. I had it in there, man. And we got an excellent realtor. It took 6 months though to sell our house, which was sort of, I mean, we're at the end, getting to the end of our contract, and I was like, I don't know why our house isn't selling. It's like practically brand new. We're the only people that have lived in there. We've taken good
Mhm.
care of it. We put crown molding up, and did all the things to improve it. And
Yep.
yeah, and so uh, we would come back and forth to Missouri to see my brother and visit and
Mhm.
go look at houses. And we found a house very similar to our cabin in the woods, and
Cool.
it was drop dead gorgeous, but it was a year out. There was no way. So we couldn't buy that house, but we kept seeing this house here. It
Mhm.
was on 16 and 3/4 acres. We just rounded up to 17 because who cares?
Yeah.
And then we looked at it, and it had a big huge shop, which was Kevin's dream. And if you hear me say the boss, that's Kevin. He's not the
I thought it
boss.
was the dog. The
We,
dog was the boss. Sorry, Kevin. I sorry.
he's over here listening. He's the boss. He gets final say sometimes. Anyway, so we and it has a pond, and it's just three
Yeah.
pastures, everything fenced. It was everything we were looking for,
Oh,
because
beautiful.
who wants to put fencing up? And that was the other downfall for the other land. It was 10 acres with a beautiful home, but it
Mhm.
wasn't fenced. And we were like,
Yeah.
no, no, we don't want to do it. So we went ahead and put in an offer, and got a great offer on the house. And we had already had yard sales in Texas, and packed the
Mhm.
truck up, and moved to Beverly Hills, that is.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was. I love that show. I
I
grew
do
up on it.
too. I would love to
Yeah.
have that truck.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh, but
So
yeah, we
I
moved.
was watching one of your videos, and you were talking about when you started there. You guys started with the lasagna garden method. Do you want to
Yes.
tell me a little bit more about what you did and the success and maybe not success that you guys had?
Well, it was really bizarre because Kevin built those raised beds for me and surprised me so I wouldn't have to bend over. And
Mhm.
I was like, that was just the shiznits to me. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Mhm.
That truck is in Missouri. What? Anyway, sorry, squirrel. Uh, I want to buy it. Okay, go fund me. Simply Jan needs the Beverly Hillbilly truck.
And yes, Gail, I actually do have a Santa costume.
So I squirreled. Where was I?
Well, we were talking about the lasagna gardening
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah,
So he built the beds, put the I think it was a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch hardware cloth on the bottom
yeah.
and got that all secured real good. And then well, underneath that, we put some ground cover. And then we
Yeah.
put the hardware cloth. And then we had all this old rotten wood around the property. And we
Mhm.
put that down and then put compost, a little bit of straw, and we just kept layering it until, you know, it was full. And we had already had our own compost, but we go to a farm store and get our compost, and we got a couple truckloads of that, filled it up. And now the one bed, this is really bizarre because they're both treated the same exact way. The
Mhm.
bed closest when you're walking up to them is that's been the most productive bed, and the one behind it was not. It was just something really funky about it. We don't know what. Uh, Never tested that soil, which we probably should have. And you know, this year the most productive bed is the one that wasn't good. And again, but here's what I did different. I just started. I uncovered it, slammed it with alfalfa pellets. I didn't
Mhm.
care what was going in there. It was getting nitrogen. So I didn't care. And you know what? It worked. Our jalapenos, our peppers, wildflowers, all those kind of things are in that bed and they're flourishing. They're doing fantastic.
They're
So,
loving it.
yeah, there's Peterson's farm in Anthony. Hi. So glad you guys could join us tonight. This year was the first year we ever really tested our soil, and we decided to test the compost pile because that's what we were going to use at the time for the majority of our gardening. Hi, Ann. So we all we needed was phosphate,
Yep.
phosphate, and I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, we can do that. That's cool. And then, Jerry at Butler Family Farm, he's a wellspring of knowledge. I'll tell you what, you want anyone on, you need to get Jerry on. He knows his stuff. So he helped walk us through. And there's Tony, our cabin in the woods. But he walked us through some things and explained some things to me. And, it totally made sense. I
Yeah.
was like, well, yeah, duh. Why didn't I think of that? There's Charlene Grady. Hi. Hillbilly Chicken Ranch is here too. Sorry, I'm just,
Oh, not a problem. Like I have no problems with your giving shouts out to your people that are coming on your channel and watching the interview. It's amazing that everybody's here.
Oh, I know. Hi, Jane. Well, it's hard for me. I know some people, they don't look at the chat and acknowledge, but these people are taking an hour of their time to come
Mhm.
join us. And I
Yep.
want to honor them by saying hi because they're family to me. Many of these people are my family. They're my friends and family, and I see them that way. So,
And
yeah.
that's good. It's all about caring, sharing, and community. And the larger the community, the better off we all are.
Yes. No, it's about the biology, Ken.
Well, you know, if you didn't have the biology, we wouldn't be here, because without the biology, no cell divides. And since
Yes,
we're made up of cells, we wouldn't be here without it. So,
exactly. You do have a point there. Well, thank God he decided to put Jan together.
well, exactly.
There's Casper Johannesson. Hi, so good to see you. Yeah, so that's pretty much how we ended up here. And then the journey began is what do you do with 17 acres? What do you do with that?
Mhm.
How do you manage it? How do you grow on it? We had old gardens. I mean, they were
Right.
rotting and falling apart, but we used them because that's what we had. Hi, Jamie. And so that's what we did. That's what we had. And then every year we just started doing things different, doing different
Mhm.
beds and um, different planting. I love gardening is my happy place. That's like I hope I get a place in the Garden of Eden or whatever is in heaven. I hope I get to garden. I'm like
Yeah, yeah.
I'll clean windows, I'll do all that, but I can just let me garden a little bit, Lord. And I know he doesn't need my help. But
But he'll accept it with graciousness and gratitude.
yes, yes. Uh,
It's
I had a
really, oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say it's an amazing thing to be able to spend the time out in the garden, because it does touch your very soul. Like, on the channel we talk a bit about energy, frequency, and vibration, and
Yes.
it's that vibration, it's that connection with the life that is in that garden, in those plants, whether they're I call it medicinal plants for the soil, or most people call them weeds, but they're
Yeah.
actually there for a reason. But even all of that, anything you can get out and touch nature and bring it into yourself, you're just so much more fulfilled.
Yes. And you can not only are you in with the living organisms in your garden, you get to sit there um, and you hear the birds
Mm-hmm.
and you feel the wind. And to me, like we don't stop. We don't stop. When they say smell, stop and smell the roses, stop and listen to what's around you. At night, I sit out on my porch and I listen to the tree frogs and I listen to the birds. And I'm like, this is so amazing. This is amazing. And I love, hi, Ed. And Sean, you're right. It was the sky. We're having a debate. So when we went to Sherman's family farm,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Tony and Amy, they're like, oh, there's a tarp in the tree. It wasn't no tarp in the tree. It was the sky coming through the tree. And Sean and I, we're like the only two that thought so. So they're trying to prove they're Sean when Sean goes back there, he's gonna go walk in those woods and see if there's a tarp in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a tarp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness.
It was way too much fun.
We had a lot of fun there. We worked our butts out. But yeah, Tony's like tarp, tarp, tarp. No. He goes, you're really aggravating me. Look right there. And I'm like, I'm looking right there. There's no tarp. It's the sky.
It's actually that color when you look at it.
Yeah, all the rest looked exactly like it. They swore they saw a tarp. So we'll see. The verdict isn't in yet.
And
Oh,
Silly Lily, can you throw up the link to It's All About the Biology channel, please? There's some people asking for it.
yes.
But we
Okay.
talk
Ted.
energy, frequency, vibration in your garden. A whole podcast on just that called Gardens the Untold Story on this channel with Andy Lopez and myself. And we actually just were talking a lot about that, and it is amazing how we can interact at that level if we allow ourselves to. And that's where stopping to smell the roses, that phraseology really comes into it, is actually
Exactly.
slowing down enough to listen.
Yeah, just stop.
Yeah.
Stop. And that, oh, I was going to tell you when we moved here, like we sold almost everything we own, literally.
Yeah.
Just the bare bones. We loaded up one giant U-Haul. Well, we had brought one truckload already to
Mm.
Missouri to our friend's barn, but everything else literally got loaded into that truck, and we could not fit a pen in there if we needed to. And so we both quit our jobs. I
Mhm.
retired from a pool company that I worked with, and I held a couple different positions in that company. They were very sad to see me go. But,
Yeah.
Kevin, I told Kevin, we're going to take what we made from the house and we're going to be very frugal. And we paid for 6 months, finally found a duplex that would take 6 months.
Right.
And we moved in there, and it was a really cold winter, but it was okay. And then we moved here. So that was awesome. And so we were in a 1,475 square foot house. We moved to a 1,900 square foot house with what 500 about 500 more square feet, right?
Mhm.
And I still need more room. And we had a shop and we had a huge garage. Well, we had a garage in Texas, but I mean,
Yeah.
do you ever have enough room? So
Well, there's downsizing, but you're still on the upsizing,
I'm trying to downsize my upsize. And yeah. Oh, we we had so much stuff. I love you too, Sammy. We had, you collect things over the years, and
Yeah.
we had a lot of junk. But whatever we didn't keep, we didn't sell at the garage sale. We took to a Christian donation center, and they were
Yeah.
happy to have it. So that was good. Yeah, I have a question I just recently learned about Happy Frog and ocean forest soil
By Fox
like
Farms.
Fox Farms. Do you suggest this for growing? What do you think, Ken? I don't know about.
I've actually used both. They're really good quality soil. There's a lot of different soils out there. They're classed as what we would call a super soil. They're a custom blend. So yes, they're an excellent soil. They're going to have everything in there that you need to grow a healthy plant, and that can be your foundation, and then go from there with treating that with a little bit of sand. They don't have a lot of sand in them. Sand is a very necessary component for your plants to uh, draw from. The biology sets up mining operations on those little grains of sand, and that's where a lot of the calcium, magnesium, selenium, manganese, etc., is going to come from. But yes, as a base, the Fox Farm stuff, I have used it personally and had very good success with it. And there's a lot of other ones. So try to see who's local to you, and if there's somebody local making a soil like that, because there's lots of people out there making soils.
Yeah, I had never heard of Foxfire, so that's new to me. I
A
need
lot of it for the super soils, it's a cannabis industry thing, and there are a lot of those guys. They use the soil once, they fill up their pot, they use it once, and then they throw the soil out, and they're constantly buying soils. So
mm,
there's a lot of these custom soil mixes out there now.
hmm, that's interesting. Why would you throw it out? Why?
Basically it's like a hemp plant. Cannabis and hemp, they're the different strains. So like tomatoes, different strains of tomatoes, but
Yes.
they use so much nutrition out of a soil in the months that you're growing that if you're not re-amending that soil, you might get a second round out of it, but it's not going to be as good as the first. So
Oh,
they, in a commercial grow, they fill up their pots and then they throw it out the back door at the end, and get rid of it. It's in my mind, it's ludicrous to do it that way, but
yeah.
a lot of guys do it.
Yeah. Wow. I'd be digging that up, throwing it in my truck and amending it. There's
Well,
Kevin. That's
yeah.
my husband, Kevin Henderson, the boss.
Okay, where is he? Oh, there you go. Hi, Kevin. There's the boss. Yeah, yeah.
What
I
was glass for? Linda wants to know what was glass for.
What was glass for? I missed that one.
Another time.
I'm not sure what glass.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the question would be. What it was glass for?
What do you mean, Linda? Jan, you collected boss man.
So while we're waiting for Linda to come back up with and explain, let's go on a little bit more with your story, Jan. Where are you going? Like, I know you planted fruit trees, etc. You've got the pigs, you got sheep, you've got the chickens, both feeders and laying hens. What's the next step for you and the boss?
Well, we don't have pigs anymore because we've cut
Okay.
down on our pork consumption, but because the boss had a gallbladder removed, so we'll eat specialty kind of porks,
Yeah.
roasts and things like that. So um
Glass
let's
for greenhouse.
you ain't lost the green, but it made a great coop for those meat birds before it got tumbled. uh I think the next step, I really want to get our sheep. No, we haven't given up bacon or sausage. I really want to get our sheep bred and have some lambs. Yeah, we gotta eat bacon and sausage. That's a given. So, uh, Penny Pebble Ripples, hello, Ripplers, hello, good to see you. Yeah, I really would like, except for the garden revamp, that's going to be a major project next year for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get our sheep bred. So we may end up having to buy a American black belly ram. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to. I'd rather, as told Ken earlier, I'd rather just rent one and,
Yeah.
breed them that way so I don't have to deal with selling it. Because once you breed, you can't. We're not. People do it all the time, but I'm not
Yeah.
crossbreeding my lambs that are born with their daddy. I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
No.
It's not right. It's just not right.
I know
In my
Tony.
mind.
No. Have you seen? Okay, Tony has Berkshire pigs. They almost come up to my chest. They are the biggest pigs I ever saw. Now we had Idaho pasture pigs, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't recommend to anyone. They were terrible, and they were just so fatty. So, but the Berkshire are supposed to be like really quality meat. But
Mm-hmm.
my God, I would get in with my pigs and we'd pet and play and do all the things. I would not get in the pen with his pigs. they would kill me.
And eat
You,
you up. Yep.
yeah, I'd be supper. They'd be going, oh yeah, there's a leg of lamb right there.
Well, and that's all in what you're used to too, because like I know I grew up around a lot of cattle farms, pig farms, etc. And yeah, some of those sows, 4, 5, 600 pounds.
Yes,
Like
they're
yeah, you don't
huge.
want to get in between them and the slop that you're putting in, to feed them. It's like, no, I ain't getting in there.
No. I down the road, we live in the heart of Amish country. So
Yep.
most of our neighbors, excuse me, are Amish. And just across the road, you go up a little bit. It, they have these gigantic pigs, but Tony's beat these. Sig and Sophie are huge. I mean,
He says they're so sweet.
They are. Sig, his sow, is that right, Tony? The boy, his tongue hangs outside of his mouth. It's so enduring. It was so cute. He's like, but he's so cute.
Uh-huh.
It's such a good time. And Tony has goats and chickens and the pigs, But I enjoyed having them. I really, really enjoyed having. They were our first big livestock, and we butchered them and processed them. We raised one pig for us and one for a friend of ours, and he was a butcher. So the deal was we'd raise them for their pig for them, and then they would come help us butcher, and that's what we did. But I don't want to do that again. I'd rather just process a deer or two or three or five, And hopefully this year I get to go hunting. And last year I snowflaked out because it was too cold.
Oh my goodness. You'd hate to come to my part of the country because,
I know.
minus 40 and is a norm, in our winter times. We generally get that for, 3 or 4 weeks to a month or two.
Yeah. But you have snowsuits there.
Jan, you have to remember one thing, okay? You can always put more clothes on to stay warm.
Yeah.
You can only take so much off before they throw you in jail.
Yeah. Well, I was raised in Illinois, born and raised in Illinois, so I get that. But let me tell you, at my age, like my insulated overalls, I've got 5 layers of clothes on under that. And I look like like I can barely
We
move.
were talking Santa Claus earlier here, yeah.
Yeah. What's that movie where his mom dresses him up and the kid can hardly move?
Oh God, there's a cartoon one?
No, it's a show. Kevin will know what I'm talking about if he's still listening. We have human beings are not to be awake all night like that. I don't think it's healthy. No. He always gives me a hard time because he has to go to bed early and get up early, and I stay up later.
But I used to work night shift for decades. I worked nights, so
yeah. What's that movie, Kevin?
Christmas Story?
Where I don't know. The mom dresses him up and he can barely move. The 2 brothers, they go out. It might be that one.
Yeah, we got 2 people saying A Christmas Story.
Yeah, it's probably that. I just watch it. I don't care the name of it or who's in it.
You're just there to watch and enjoy. Smile and giggle.
Exactly. We could be watching a movie and I'm like, what's the name of this movie? And everyone looks at me like, are you kidding me? I'm like,
Yep.
It's just strictly something I'm watching. Okay, I think it is A Christmas Story.
Yep.
-35 went to stand and it was what? +35 came back, it was -70 degrees. Whoa! That was a fun vacation.
Yep. Yeah,
he gets the BB gun.
Yeah, that's A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
The lamp in the window and yep.
Yeah.
Keep the home fires burning is what they said, and that was so that they could be guided through the snowstorm to see, oh, there's a house over there.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't care about. I don't care about actors. I don't
Yeah.
care about names of movies. I mean, we're watching a series right now, and I have to ask Kevin pretty much every time we watch a clip or watch a video, what's the name of this movie again? It's like 2 weeks later. I still haven't got it. Red Rider,
Oh,
yeah. Hey, JB. There's Steven at the back with the Misfit, Buroki. My people right there. Yeah. So,
so are you guys ever gonna go a larger animal like a cow or something like that?
oh, it's my dream. It's my dream. But I need a
Okay.
tractor first. So, hashtag buy Jan a tractor. Just kidding.
Well, I don't know. They never used to use tractors, so they used to use backbreaking labor for young kids. Oh, that was it. Have lots of kids so you had free labor. Right, right, right.
Or you had horses with a something that cut behind you, you
Yeah.
could stand on the horse wagon. And yeah, I'm not into that. There's Scotty. Hi, Scotty.
And
uh
better late than never, loan.
hey, Amy and William, the whole Leonards, all the Leonards are here. Yeah, so that I would love. We rent our land right now to some
Yeah.
ranchers, and they put their cattle on here, and
Hmm.
they keep the one pasture mode for us. And I'm sure if we wanted the pond pasture mode, they'd be happy to do it, but we
Yeah.
haven't asked them that. So, but yeah, so it would be lovely to have. I'd like to get some jerseys, or I think it's Dexter or Brahma. It's not Brahma, Dexter cattle,
Okay.
because their meat's good and they're easy to milk. They have good milk. We're not allergic to milk, and I
Yeah.
love like cheese and like to make cottage cheese, all the things, you can do with milk, And right now, this is a funny story. So we have Amish uh, family that does
Hmm.
the lawnmowers and tractors and wash machines, and it's small parts, right?
Right.
And that's where we buy our milk. We go into the lawnmower store, and we get our milk. I need a gallon of milk, and you're surrounded by chainsaws and parts, and
Well, just let me run back to the fridge. Here you go.
that's what they do. And they set it on the ground, and you get your milk.
Do you
I
make farmer's cheese
hillbilly,
at all?
huh?
Have you ever made farmer's cheese?
I have when my children were young, I made butter and cheese. Hi, Rory. Yeah, I have, and it was a hoot. I just thought that was the best thing since cotton candy. I love doing that, and I would love to do it again. And it's so tasty. It's so much better than what you get in the store.
Hmm.
So good. Well, we have an Amish store up the road, and we can get homemade cheese from them too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when we first went in this place, where the pigs were I was telling you about, they have literally, I don't know, it sits 3 feet, a block of cheese that sits 3 feet tall, probably about 5 feet long. And they have it all through their back room. And they
Yeah.
just, whatever you want, they cut it off, you
Yeah.
know, 80s. Oh, 801 Second Life. Hi. Yeah, they just cut whatever you want off. It was the most bizarre thing in the world to me. I didn't know they made cheese that big. Oh, and it was so
Just
good.
a big vat.
Yeah. I mean, how'd they do that?
Well, I don't know if you make a lactic acid bacteria, you get farmer's cheese on top, just the curds. And
Yes.
below that you have the way, or the labs, and you use the labs in your garden. It's full of biology, and that's one of
Oh.
the beautiful things. You use both. Then you take your cheese, you make your farmer's cheese, and then you have this lactic acid bacteria to use in your gardening.
Yo, man. I
And it's
never even
easy.
thought of that.
Like, you take rice, uh, shake it up in water for a few minutes. You're getting the starch off. You put that water in a pan. You leave that out until you get a little bit of a scum on top. You don't want that scum, but you want the liquid. You put
Yeah.
that 1 part of that to 10 parts of milk, and then you let that sit for 7 days, depending on your temperature. And all of a sudden, you got the farmer's cheese on top, or the curds, and you got the labs underneath.
Nice. I just learned about milk on plants from Living Traditions. They
Yep.
had aphids and sprayed
Yep.
with the
Milk.
raw milk. Hey, Jake.
Yeah, I've actually used the lactic acid bacteria, the uh, concentrate,
Yeah.
on to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's fabulous. I love that.
Yeah, and
I
it's
love that. I'm gonna
easy.
do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yep. And if you need a recipe, just let me know. I'll send you the recipe, because it's like very, very simple to make.
Okay, go ahead and do it. I'm just telling you
Okay.
now. Send it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it after the show. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Oh man. How many people do we have in here? Because I can't see the number on my end.
I'm showing 43 between your group and my group.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for spending your hour with us. It's so awesome. I was so nervous, Ken, because,
I know you said that, and I was going, you don't need to be nervous. And we're just gonna sit here and BS for an hour, okay?
yeah. Oh, I can BS. Ask all my friends. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the other half. That was the good BSer.
No, he's the truther teller, and I'm the BSer. I'm a YouTuber, but
Oh,
I'm a nice BS. I don't BS. I just like to talk.
oh, yeah, I'm just a big teddy bear.
Yeah. Good night, Teresa and Lee, Stringfield Ridge Farm. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like to talk. I like to socialize. And it's really funny because when I was young, like if you try to have a conversation with me, I would cry. I was so bashful. I was so incredibly bashful. And I know you all will never believe me, but it's true. You can
The
ask my family.
wallflower?
Yes. I was just, oh, I just, I remember my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Anderson, asking me a question, and I knew the answer. I knew it. I knew it. And I looked at her to go answer the question because I was so proud I knew it. And I bawled my eyes out. She's like,
Yeah.
"What are you crying for?" I go, "I don't know."
I don't want to say anything out loud.
Yeah. I thought I had a mental disorder or something,
Oh,
I told
well, yeah, I'm not going to say anything to that, okay?
my mom's like, "Why'd you cry, honey?" And I go, "I just got embarrassed." Well, why? Did you know the answer? And I go, "Yeah, I know." But I didn't want to say it in front of everyone. What if I was
So,
wrong?
Jane, we've only got just over a minute left. So, do you have anything that you want to tell the audience that, are you going to be going out to any events or anything like that?
Yes, Gail Southern Living and Simply Jan Homestead. Stephen at the Backwoods Misfit has been my host of our first two YouTube meetups. He will be in the backstages helping us. So Gail at Gail Southern Living and Simply Jan are hosting our third annual Ozark YouTube meetup next year. We don't have the date yet, but
Cool.
it's going to be, Kevin and I are actually going there tomorrow to Shoal, Bull Shoals. It's borders Missouri and Arkansas, so that gives people closer access, instead of being so close to all of us. And then the other thing, what was the other thing? Oh, there's something else.
Well, you are interviewing me next week, by the
Oh,
way.
that's what it was. Yes. Next week, we got Ken on Simply Jan Homestead. And the bad thing is, I don't have paid StreamYard, so he can't
So
stream
you
off
guys,
my stream like I got to tonight. And I'm sorry, Ken. I'm
oh,
just too cheap.
no worries, no worries. I'll
Oh,
let my people know I'm to come to your channel if they
okay.
want to watch that interview.
We're going to pick Ken's brain next week. His bio, if you go to my live and click on the link with Ken, his bio is in the description. And I was blown away. I'm like, wow, that he knows a lot. He knows a lot. And what I love about Ken is he is so stinking down to earth. He's like, I feel like I could just sit here and party with Ken and have a glass of wine and a beer or whatever, and just have this great in-depth conversation and really go dive deep. And that's, well, we'll see what happens with my questions.
Well, and we're just going to have fun. And I'm also we've
Yeah.
got the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch on Conversations in Ken's Cafe on Friday, earlier
Yes.
show, and then right out an hour after we're done there, I'm on with you, John.
Yes, yes. So everyone go to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch and then come see us over there, because we're
Yep.
all going to have different questions. We're going to have different things we're going to talk about. I specifically am going to hone in on some earthing, and I love it. But Simply Jan is part of Shenanigan Fridays. Next, Scott's probably live already, rambling with the brooms. If you'll go check him out, and after that, making it home. And that's our Friday lineup, and then you're free to roam. So
And
thank you,
Sunday,
Ken.
well, I got one more announcement. On Sunday, I'm on with Dr. Paula on Sunday afternoon. So if you guys have been following Dr. Paula at all,
Yes.
she's going to be interviewing me on Sunday. Then I've got her coming on to our show in next month.
Fantastic. Y'all, please check out Ken. It's all about the biology. If nothing else, you're going to learn something. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot more out of that than,
Oh,
but
there's so much, guys, and it's a network, guys. It's not just
yeah.
shows with me. I do a show with Andy Lopez, and we have Leighton Morrison, who's been regenerative and teaching regenerative for a long time. He's on Mondays, and some of the guests, the doctors, are amazing that we have on there as well.
Oh,
But anyway,
yeah.
guys, say peace, and we are going to end the stream.
You got to say bye now.
Bye now.
Bye now.